Hello and welcome to Fresh Face One Shots. My name is Joey,
And I'm Jacob.
and today we are continuing Superman by Joshua Williamson. Today we have issue 12, which is seems to be our first big proper finale. To this pretty much every issue up to this point, it seems. It's a big one, and it's a damn good one. So let's get into it.
It is fantastic. It is fascinating. We have clearly not seen the last of Grafton Farm.
No, they're coming back.
This is very much like we're building to a heroic ending, right? And it feels paced really well.
I'll say after this much setup in this run, it's I feel like a lot of runs, a lot of comics. We've read a lot of comics that set up big stories like this and then just cannot pay it off in the end and cannot deliver a satisfying finale.
Williamson, for the most part, is satisfying. If I had to complain, I feel like I would like a little more Letitia Luthor.
Maybe
in the finale here, but I also have a feeling that we're still doing more with her.
Oh, definitely.
So it's not that big a deal. But Williamson keeps a lot of the focus squarely on the Superman Lex Luthor dynamic, which has been
really important,
the driving force of this run.
I can't remember. What were you? I believe you early on were saying that you thought that Lex would turn eventually, that he would still be evil by the end. And I think I was the one saying that. No, I think he's actually changed. And if I needed any more proof of that, I think this issue's actually that. And I didn't think that anyone could really make me believe that Lex Luthor has the actual potential to be good, but fuck, Williamson's done it.
Well, here's what's also interesting about this is Williamson doesn't make it so it's he is definitely 100% good. He is still Lex fucking Luthor.
Well, yeah, exactly. Even if you did somehow completely reform Lex Luthor, there's still so many years of horrible shit that he's done that you can't exactly say even if he's reformed, he's not a good person necessarily.
I mean, even in his final his act of
heroism at the end,
his act of heroism,
he's still pretty selfish in the end. He
is ready to actually not be good. He is ready to fall back into old habits.
But he actually commits to it in the end, and I really appreciate that. Also, we get to see Lex in that early Rebirth Action Comics suit again that I think is so ridiculous, and I love. It's a fun suit. Also, you get to see Superman actually properly leading Supercorp in this, which I find really interesting, and to see him actually embrace that.
Yeah, which is, again, a very interesting idea. Especially since, but it's also, presented very much like Superman. Also, Williamson seems to love finding reasons for Superman to be to getting all of our characters in different costumes.
Totally. I like Superman with the lab coat on pretty much, with the Superman symbols on it. It's fun. Also, of course, one of the main events of this issue is this flashback we get to Lex and Clark as well, which is really fun to see him getting his hands on kryptonite here. Clark reacting to that, and Lex's first actual meeting with Grafton Farm. How
they worked together. Lex betrayed them. How Lex worked with his mother and betrayed her. Lex Luthor. Not a very trustworthy person.
No, but somehow I actually hate his mother more.
I mean, I think that's just really good character writing from Williamson.
True.
Probably because she wants to take... It's not so much she wants to take her son down and doesn't care who's brought down with her. She wants to take her son down and wants to take other people down with him. I want to take the city down, because I'm a Luthor.
And yeah, it's great. And also, what I really love here also is tying Parasite into the ending here too. Because Parasite was our first sort of like big villain of the run. And also, I just love the big sort of like goofy smile on his face, and he's like, "I've been good, Superman. I want to help." I think that's great.
What I think is fascinating is Williamson in what 25 pages. This is a regular length issue.
Yeah.
Is referencing every issue that's come before in this run.
Pretty much,
except
for I think the Marilyn Moonlight stuff. I don't think that ever gets released.
There is exactly one brief panel right below the Parasite panel talking about the trip through time.
That's true.
Very briefly.
Then I guess
we're going to get more Marilyn Moonlight coming up, though.
Probably. I would hope so, at least. I do hope that issue 10 wasn't the only payoff that we'll get to Moonlight,
especially since Western superheroine,
and I mean, if nothing else, I still would love to see that miniseries. I would be down for that.
DC, you've got a character. You have someone create a character for a new run of Superman, which a lot of people are now reading Superman. This book has been very successful. Capitalize, spin off your new superhero. Let her exist in her own corner of the DC universe.
Yeah. And all you need is 6 issues maybe, and I think people will be down for that.
Yeah.
I'd be down for that.
6-issue miniseries.
I'd read it. I'd read an ongoing for all I care. Come on, I want more.
Well, I was going to say a 6-issue mini is a great way to test the waters for an ongoing.
Yeah, true.
It worked for Tim Drake Robin in the 90s, I think. There were a couple of minis, and then they gave him a big ongoing.
Yep.
It would work here.
But also I do love one of our big resolutions here, aside from Parasite draining the power from our villains, is that we're given the ability to turn off Lex's armor, which is portrayed at this moment of Lex's daughter totally betraying him, which in a way I guess she kind of is, but is also using it to power down Letitia's suit as well. And yeah, they both get saved by Superman, and all our villains get locked up in the end. Lex willingly goes back to prison, which I find I really appreciate that. I like seeing that. Yeah, we see everyone gets chained back up, chained for lack of a better phrase. Superman visits Lex, asks if there's anything else that he needs to know, and
any other lies, because Superman doesn't take liars kindly.
And as far as Superman can tell, Lex does not lie when he says no. So yeah,
I feel like Williamson's gonna pull a lie of omission type thing. There's gonna be something. That.
Well, I mean, the way the line is worded is there anything else I need to know? Any other lies? The wording there is Lex does not think there is anything else Superman needs to know.
It's a very specific wording of it, not to my recollection.
Yeah. So yeah, just I don't know. I'm interested to see what that spawns into. I'm sure. But also we get a nice little Clark and Lois moment at the end here. We see that Jimmy's headline here is Lex Luthor saves Metropolis ?
Question mark. I also love Lois's dialogue of. Not only did Jimmy not burn the planet down, he actually got the paper out this morning.
yeah, it's fun. Jimmy needs a promotion. But yeah, also as we're ending this off,
we're ending off with 2 teases for what's coming next.
Yeah, or I guess potentially 3.
Potentially 3.
Well, because we have Clark's line here about what restarted their game with Lex, and the implication is Brainiac, but I wonder if it is actually something else.
Could be something else. Yeah,
but then of course we also have Lobo here. The main man is fragging free, as he says, and of course we end here on Brainiac's ship, presumably going towards Earth. And with our big tease page for House of Brainiac beginning next month. So, yeah, that is where we end things off. And I'm so excited.
Yeah, this is now a time you're going to want to catch up on this run because it's great. I do know House of Brainiac isn't just going to be normal Brainiac stuff, I don't think, because...
they've shown some kind of like Queen Brainiac, I believe, in the promotion, which I'm fascinated by. And also, I'm also really looking forward to the fact that it is co-written by Jason Aaron, and I've read the first few issues of his Action Comics stuff. It's great. We also recently read some Jason Aaron stuff on the podcast with his Thor run, which I know you were a big fan of.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm very excited also to just include some Jason Aaron stuff on the one shots. So that's cool. But yeah, that'll be next month, and
that'll be next month.
Otherwise, check out other one shots we have on the channel: Wonder Woman by Tom King and Batman: The Brave and the Bold.
7.
Yes, which also featured Superman. We had a lot of Superman.
We had a lot of Superman through the one shots and the podcast this week.
Yeah. Coming up is our second volume of Grant Morrison's Action Comics, which we recorded not that long ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, also we're covering Batman: The Brave and the Bold by Various. It's gonna so because Jacob here is going on vacation, we're gonna have to push that back about a week-ish. So it'll probably come out like early April.
Very early April. My goal is to try to get when I get it recorded as soon as possible when I get back.
We'll be doing that, and that'll be a little late, but it's all good. We're working through it. And otherwise, check out the main podcast, which we actually already mentioned. So that's there as well, Fresh Face Comics. Our socials will be linked in the description below as well. Those will all be there. And I think all that about does it. So
does it.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to join us next time. Nope, that's not the end. That's not the outro. That's not it, is it? Nope. That is not the outro. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, this has been Joey Morgan.
And Jacob Licklider.
Goodbye.